Some trucks are built to work, some are built to impress, and then there are the legendary American trucks that didn't just hit the road, they defined a generation. For decades, these iron giants ruled highways with raw power, unstoppable engines, and frames built to last a lifetime. They didn't just haul cargo, they forged America's infrastructure, powered entire industries, and left a legacy that modern pickups can't touch. Now, get ready to witness the trucks that turn steel, grit, and horsepower into pure legend. The 1946 Dodge Power Wagon did both, transforming the battlefield toughness of World War II into America's first mass-produced civilian 4x4 pickup, built to tackle farms, forests, and any road, or no road at all. Born from the Dodge WC weapons carrier series, the Power Wagon inherited military-grade durability, earning a reputation as a battle-hardened workhorse even before it hit civilian soil. Engineers stretched the military chassis to a 126-inch wheelbase, added a civilian cab, and topped it with an 8-foot wood-floored bed, creating a truck that was as practical as it was unstoppable. Under the hood, the Power Wagon ran on a 230 cubic inch, 3.8 liters, flathead inline-six engine producing 94 horsepower. Designed for torque, not speed, it cruised comfortably at 45 to 50 miles per hour, making highway racing laughable but towing and off-road hauling effortless. Inside, the cabin's forest of levers made it feel like piloting a machine from another era. Functional, intimidating, wasn't built for two operators at most. From 1946 to 1968, the flat fender design barely changed, a testament to its timeless practicality. Even after mainstream production ended, it continued for export markets until 1978, giving it a longer production life than the legendary Ford Model T. In 2005, Dodge revived the nameplate for a specialized off-road Ram 2500, proving the Power Wagon's DNA of brute strength and uncompromising capability still resonates today. The Power Wagon wasn't made for comfort, style, or speed. It was made to survive, endure, and dominate the tasks modern trucks can only dream of. Every lever, every flat panel, every steel frame piece tells the story of a pickup that turned military precision into civilian legend. You're looking at the Ford F-250 Highboy, the pickup that accidentally became a legend. Standing 5 to 6 inches taller than its two WD siblings, this factory-lifted 4x4 from 1967 to mid-1977 wasn't built for style. It was engineered to solve a problem and ended up defining an era of American off-road dominance. Ford's challenge in the late 1960s was deceptively simple: create a 4x4 F250 without re-engineering the existing 2WD transmission. And their solution, a divorced transfer case mounted further back, required raising the front end to clear the long drive shaft. To balance the stance, engineers added a 4-inch rear lift block, giving the Highboy its signature tall, aggressive look. Under the hood, these trucks were as versatile as they were tough. Factory engines ranged from the dependable 300 cubic inch inline-six to the 360 FEV8, with some late 1977 models featuring the 351M or even the 400 V8. Combined with the lifted frame and robust 4x4 system, the F-250 Highboy could handle rough terrain, heavy loads, and off-road challenges without breaking a sweat. The Highboy era ended mid-1977 when Ford switched to a married transfer case, allowing the F-250 to sit lower. That change created the lowboy models, but for collectors and off-road enthusiasts, nothing matches the original Highboy's blend of raw function, mechanical simplicity, and off-road dominance. It's a truck built for work, adventure, and legacy, a true icon of 1970s American 4x4 engineering. Some trucks make money. The Peterbilt 281 made history on the highway and far beyond it. Manufactured from 1954 to 1976, the Peterbilt 281, better known as the Needle Nose, defined an era when trucks were built as tools, not technology platforms. This was not a lifestyle vehicle. It was a working partner for owner-operators who believed reliability mattered more than comfort, and craftsmanship mattered more than convenience. The 281 was born in Peterbilt's Oakland, California plant. It's designed specifically to comply with strict Western state length and weight regulations. Its narrow front end and butterfly hood earned it the Needle Nose nickname, but that design was not cosmetic. It delivered outstanding forward visibility and allowed full engine access in minutes, critical for drivers who handled their own maintenance on the side of the road. The model debuted alongside the nearly identical 351. The difference came down to axles. The 281 ran a single rear axle, while the 351 used a tandem setup. Together, they became a familiar sight on American highways for more than 2 decades, establishing a layout so effective that later Peterbilt designs continued to build on the same core formula. Power options defined the truck's personality. Early versions were commonly equipped with 250 horsepower Cummins or 260 horsepower Caterpillar engines, delivering dependable torque for long-haul work. Later models introduced the Cummins NTC 350, and pushing output to 350 horsepower and cementing the 281's reputation as a serious heavy-haul machine. That power flowed through a 13-speed Fuller Road Ranger or Eaton Fuller transmission, giving drivers precise control under load and a practical top speed in the 60 to 80 mile/hour range. This was a truck built to pull, not sprint. Structurally, the 281 blended a rugged steel frame with an aluminum cab, an advanced weight-saving move in the 1950s that allowed more payload without sacrificing strength. In 1971, Steven Spielberg chose a 1955 Peterbilt 281 as the antagonist in his first film, Duel. The long nose, round headlights, and towering stance gave it a threatening presence unlike anything else on screen. Nor Spielberg added multiple license plates to the front bumper to suggest the unseen driver was a serial killer who had hunted motorists across state lines, turning the truck itself into the villain. Before trucks had horsepower ratings or heated seats, one machine existed to survive anything, and it earned a nickname that still commands respect today. This is the Mack AC, the truck that built the American century. Produced from 1916 through 1939, the Mack AC stands almost alone in industrial history. While most truck models are redesigned every 5 to 10 years, the AC stayed in production for 23 years with almost no major changes. Well, that kind of lifespan only happens when the original design is already perfect for its mission. It was engineered by Alfred Massery and Edward Hewitt to be the most durable vehicle on Earth, and everything about it reflects that singular goal. The legend was forged during World War I. More than 4,500 Mack ACs were shipped to France, where they operated in knee-deep mud that swallowed nearly every other truck sent to the front. British soldiers noticed 2 things immediately: the short, snub-nosed profile, and the way the truck refused to stop pulling, no matter how bad conditions became. When supplies stalled, soldiers were heard yelling, "Send in the Bulldogs!" That nickname stuck, and in 1922, Mack officially adopted the Bulldog as its corporate symbol because of the AC. After the war, the AC came home and went straight to work, shaping the country itself. These trucks hauled materials for the Hoover Dam, carved out the New York City subway system, and helped build the first transcontinental highways. Power came from a Mack-built 471 cubic-inch 7.7-liter 4-cylinder side-valve engine producing 75 horsepower. That number sounds small today, but it delivered relentless low-end torque. Top speed ranged from 18 to 22 miles per hour, which tells you everything about the priorities of this truck. One of the AC's most unusual features was its rear-mounted radiator. Instead of sitting behind the grille, and the radiator was positioned behind the engine, directly in front of the dashboard. This protected it from debris, shrapnel, and collisions on job sites and battlefields. Because of that layout, the truck used a Renault-style sloped hood that dropped downward toward the front. The result was exceptional forward visibility, better than many modern lifted pickups that rely on cameras just to see what is directly ahead. Instead of a drive shaft and differential, the AC used massive exposed steel chains to drive the rear wheels. This design provided incredible ground clearance through the center of the axle and proved far more tolerant of mud, rocks, and debris than enclosed driveline systems of the era. The frame itself was built from chrome nickel steel, a material choice so overkill that many ACs remained in active service 50 years after they were built. Modern pickups tow boats to the lake. The Mack AC relocated buildings. In the 1920s, these trucks were routinely overloaded to 200% of their rated capacity and simply kept moving. In one famous durability test, an AC was driven off a 10-foot embankment. It landed, the driver put it in gear, and it drove away. That same level of over-engineering explains why ACs can still be found in working condition in remote parts of the world more than a century later. Before pickups got fancy, before Torque ratings became headlines, Diamond T was building rolling masterpieces that moved 30 tons with style, and a grin in every owner's face. The Diamond T921 is a heavyweight legend from the so-called Cadillac of trucks, a brand that perfected the art of combining elegance with over-engineering long before modern luxury pickups existed. Produced mainly in the 1950s, the 921 series embodied Diamond T's assembled truck philosophy, by merging top-tier third-party components with the most refined sheet metal in the industry. Most models of T921 relied on Cummins diesel engines, like the NH series producing 195 to 220 horsepower, or in restored examples the 8.3-liter Cummins C series. Some trucks featured Hercules 6-cylinder gasoline or diesel engines. Power was channeled through a 5-speed Spicer or Fuller main transmission, often paired with a 2-speed or 3-speed Browning auxiliary for maximum hauling versatility. The chassis was a massive, reinforced frame with full air brakes, capable of handling up to 65,000 pounds, staggering for the early 1950s. Top speed ranged from 46 to 65 miles per hour, reflecting a design focused on torque and durability over outright velocity. Diamond T earned its nickname the Cadillac of trucks from founder C.A. Tilt, combining unmatched quality with innovative styling. The 921 featured a solid aluminum grille surround, stainless steel nameplates, and a one-piece curved windshield that was revolutionary for its time. Both cab-over-engine 921-C and long-nose conventional models existed, giving owners options for tight city streets or long-haul durability. At any show or job site, the 921's Art Deco lines and massive chrome grille command attention. Modern heavy-duty pickups may have torque, but the 921 was a true Class 8 powerhouse, hauling 30-plus tons across unfinished highways without a single computer sensor. Diamond T's influence extended across the industry. Competitors like Mack and International even used Diamond T cab designs in the mid-1950s, though the final sheet metal and trim always carried the Diamond T signature. In the 1940s, if a load absolutely had to move, this was the truck you trusted when everything else failed. That truck was the Kenworth 521, and it came from a time when American trucks were not styled, optimized, or softened. They were engineered like industrial tools. Built in the late 1940s and 1950s, the 521 became a backbone model for Kenworth during the post-war freight boom, earning a reputation for reliability when missed deadlines meant lost contracts and broken trucks meant lost jobs. Early versions, including the 1947 models, were praised by freight operators for one simple reason. They ran every day, on time, with minimal downtime. As highways expanded and industry pushed deeper into rough terrain, Kenworth leaned into what the 521 already did best: durability. By 1955, the lineup expanded with variants purpose-built for logging and heavy construction, and trucks designed to work in mud, rock, heat, and cold without complaint. The most radical version was the TCF521CBE, short for cab beside engine. Instead of placing the cab over or behind the engine, Kenworth moved it alongside. This was not a styling choice, it was a weight and visibility decision. The layout made the truck significantly lighter than traditional cab-over designs, allowing operators to haul heavier payloads while staying legal. It also gave drivers exceptional forward and side visibility, a major advantage in tight urban routes and busy freight yards. That unusual design caught the attention of Yellow Transit Freight Lines, which ordered 350 of the CBE trucks. Painted bright yellow, they became rolling billboards for efficiency, proving that unconventional engineering could deliver real-world results. Many Kenworth 521s were equipped with a Cummins 175 horsepower turbo diesel, a serious engine for its era. It's known for pulling heavy loads all day without drama. The drivetrain typically paired a 4-speed main transmission with a 2-speed auxiliary, giving drivers the torque control needed for steep grades, rough work sites, and overloaded runs that defined mid-century freight hauling. The Kenworth 521 represents an era when American trucking was built on trust. Trust that the engine would pull, the frame would hold, and the truck would come back tomorrow ready to work again. The Brockway 361, nicknamed the Husky, was a hand-built American powerhouse from Cortland, New York, engineered to haul the impossible, crush epic snowstorms, and outlast anything else daring enough to hit the road. While modern one-ton pickups feel like luxury cars with a bed, the 361 was pure industrial muscle, built to get the job done no matter what. Born during the Mack era, Brockway was Mack's custom shop, crafting hand-assembled trucks for owners who demanded toughness that fleet trucks could never match. The 361 was the king of the 300 series, featuring a wider radiator and hood to house the massive high-horsepower diesels of the era. Cummins NTC 335 and 350, Detroit Diesel 8V71 and 8V92, or Caterpillar 3406 engines powered these beasts, delivering 250 to 450 horsepower, numbers that made today's pickups look like toys by comparison. Its engineering was equally extreme. Many 361s featured a double-frame design, with one steel rail nested inside another, giving it the strength to pull loads that would twist a modern truck's frame like a pretzel. The butterfly hood wasn't just stylish, it allowed drivers to stand on the tire and hug the engine for maintenance, a level of serviceability modern trucks can only dream of. Brockway built these machines with zero planned obsolescence. When engines could be swapped after 500,000 miles, cabs and chassis were designed to last 50-plus years, and flat glass windshields made emergency repairs possible even in the middle of a blizzard. It earned the nickname Snow King for a reason. State plow fleets in New York relied on the 361 to push through 4 feet of wet snow, something lighter modern trucks simply cannot handle. The legacy of the Brockway 361 is more than horsepower and steel. It's a symbol of an era when trucks were over-engineered, overbuilt, and built to last. Every line of its massive chrome grille, every reinforced frame rail, every butterfly hood panel tells a story of American ingenuity and grit. While modern pickups brag about heated seats, one truck in World War II hauled 25-ton pontoon bridges and fuel tankers through bombed-out craters and axle-deep mud, and never slowed down. This is the Autocar U8144T, a 5-ton 4x4 cab-over-engine truck that served as the heavy-duty muscle of the US Army from 1941 to 1945. Unlike today's lifestyle pickups, the U8144T existed purely for purpose. Move anything, anywhere, no compromises. The U in U8144T stands for under-engine. in referencing its cab-over design that made the truck shorter, more maneuverable, and perfect for tight military convoys. Its primary mission was hauling pontoon bridges, critical for allowing tanks and troops to cross rivers like the Rhine. It also carried massive fuel tankers, supply trailers, and other essential equipment. Only 11,176 units were ever built, making it far rarer than the standard deuce-and-a-half GMC trucks. And power came from a Hercules RXC 529 cubic inch 8.7-litre L-head inline-6 engine, producing 131 horsepower. Top speed ranged from 18 to 22 miles per hour, and fuel economy hovered around 3 to 4 miles per gallon. Unlike many open-top military vehicles, the U8144T featured a fully enclosed steel cab, offering protection from freezing European winters. Its massive ladder frame, made from heat-treated carbon steel, was nearly twice the thickness of a modern Ford F350 frame. After the war, the U8144T didn't retire. It became a backbone for American logging, house moving, and infrastructure projects, proving that its over-engineered design could handle decades of work beyond the battlefield. Autocar, the oldest motor vehicle brand in the Western Hemisphere, earned a reputation as the Cadillac of trucks during this era. And even today, surviving U8144Ts are reminders that raw capability, uncompromising engineering, and American grit can create machines built to last for generations. They called it the Cannonball, and for good reason. This was the truck that could move mountains and still keep going. The GMC DW950, produced from 1947 to 1954, was a legendary heavy-duty conventional truck built for America's toughest freight during the post-war boom. It wasn't designed for luxury or style. It was engineered to haul enormous loads day after day, powered by the iconic Detroit diesel 671 inline-6, a two-stroke marvel that defined industrial trucking in the 1940s and 50s. This was GMC's top-tier heavyweight, a truck built for long highway hauls, mountain passes, and relentless daily work. The DW950's Detroit Diesel 671 produced 165 horsepower at launch, with factory upgrades eventually boosting it to 238 horsepower by the late 1950s. Its distinctive high-pitched scream became a symbol of raw power, paired with a 5-speed main and 4-speed auxiliary transmission to conquer heavy loads with precision. The Cannonball nickname wasn't just marketing. The cab-over-engine variant gained fame after appearing in the popular 1950s television series of the same name, cementing the truck's place in both industrial and pop culture history. The DW950 replaced GMC's older A models, and by 1952 adopted its official DW950 designation for the conventional long hood version. Its counterpart, the DFW950, was optimized for tight urban streets and steep mountain climbs, proving the lineup's versatility. This mechanical simplicity and indestructibility defined the DW950. Unlike modern trucks that often fail due to electronic sensors or software glitches, the 671 Detroit diesel could run hundreds of thousands of miles with basic maintenance. The Class 8 DW950 moved over 70,000 pounds daily on steel frames and axles built for continuous commercial duty. Even today, no modern one-ton pickup comes close to that level of industrial-grade durability. The International Harvester DCO 405, better known as the Emeryville, was a high-tilt cab-over engine truck produced from 1957 to 1964, and it changed heavy hauling in the American West forever. This was not a styling experiment or a comfort play. It was a purpose-built machine designed to climb long grades, carry serious payloads, and run day after day without quitting. International created the DCO 405 specifically to capture the West Coast heavy-duty market. was where steep terrain and long distances punished weak trucks. It replaced the older DC-405 in 1957, introducing a modern tilt cab design that gave mechanics full access to the engine. Under the cab, the DC-405 was all business. The standard engine was a Cummins NH180 diesel, delivering 180 horsepower, with optional Detroit diesel or international-built engines available for operators who needed more muscle. Specialized toll road variants pushed output as high as 375 horsepower. Serious power for the era. These trucks were engineered for top payloads and long service life, and International openly marketed them as million-mile highway haulers. Weight efficiency mattered just as much as power. The cab design focused on keeping mass low so more of the legal weight limit could be used for freight. That philosophy made the Emeryville a favorite among owner-operators, not just for its performance, but for its tough, industrial look that communicated strength before the engine ever fired. The truck earned its nickname from the factory that built it. Production took place at International's specialized plant in Emeryville, California, a facility focused on heavy-duty engineering rather than volume. Official production at that plant ended in July 1963, with final units completed at the San Leandro facility through October 1965, marking the end of one of the most influential cab-over designs of the era. Says every mile it ran was earned, and that's why decades later, the DC-405 is still remembered as one of the toughest cab-overs ever built. In 1977, the Freightliner FLC120 didn't follow trends. It built Freightliner into a conventional truck powerhouse. Produced from 1977 to 1987, the Freightliner FLC120 was the company's first purpose-built conventional long-hood truck. It marked a decisive shift from Freightliner's cab-over engine roots, giving drivers a truck that combined raw hauling power with improved comfort and visibility. Engine options included the legendary Cummins Big Cam, capable of up to 400 horsepower, while the Detroit Diesel 8V92 Silver Series, and the Caterpillar 3406B, giving operators a choice of high-output power plants for long-haul performance. The cab was constructed from lightweight aluminum over steel or aluminum frame rails, balancing durability with payload efficiency. The FLC120 also marked Freightliner's independence from the White Motor Company, which had previously distributed their trucks. Your first-generation models from 1977 to 1983 featured classic round headlights on the fenders, while the second generation, from 1984 to 1987, integrated the headlights into the fenders for better aerodynamics. Designed for serious hauling, it could move 80,000 to 100,000 pounds across continents daily, loads that would push most modern heavy-duty pickups to their limits. Even with its long hood, early FLC120s offered quieter operation than cab-over models, especially with Detroit diesel engines, keeping driver fatigue low on long hauls. Its reputation extended beyond the US. In 1982, Freightliner sent FLC120s to Australia for testing. The trucks passed rigorous military-grade wear tests, but local drivers rejected them, mistrusting aluminum cabs to endure the harsh outback terrain. Despite that, the FLC120 cemented Freightliner's position in the Class 8 market, capturing a remarkable 38% of the owner-operator segment by the mid-1980s. If these iconic trucks left you speechless, smash that like button, drop your favorite in the comments, and subscribe for more deep dives into America's greatest trucks. Share this video because these legends aren't just history, they're proof that true power never goes out of style.